Hello, everybody. My name is Valeria.
My name is Mandy.
And this is We're All Strangers podcast.
Navigating life together.
I'm so sorry if you hear fidgeting. We're just getting through all this technical stuff, and it's like, ooh, it's so
This is
different.
kind of our trial and error episode and intro and everything, so just bear with us.
Yes, but now, let's explain. We're All Strangers podcast is a panel interview styled podcast that is focused on bringing in people of various backgrounds, and we're here to discuss obstacles, passions, personal experiences, or basically any knowledge you have on topics that you may want to discuss to us as college students or even individuals who don't really know what's going on in life. We're here to all learn from each other. Unlike typical interview style podcasts, we are trying to spark conversations amongst our peers, our friends, our families, and even strangers because we're all navigating life together.
Yes, thank you, Val. And now let's explain how you guys can be an interviewee and how kind of these episodes will work from here on out, because this pretty much will be the only episode that you see Val and I, just us two together talking, like straight to the camera. From here on out, it's going to be very conversational, kind of storytelling. How that's going to work is basically we have in the description of this video, or if you're listening on Spotify, in the description in Spotify episodes, we will have the Google form where you can sign up, and basically you put all your contact information for how we can get in contact with you and plan everything out, and then you choose a topic that you want to talk about. We kind of already have some general topics listed, but there's also an option for if you want to do your own topic. So you just sign that Google form, we'll get it, and we'll Val, actually, because Val does the business side and I do all the creative technical side of things, she will get back to you on when is best to schedule and timing wise. We usually always film on Sundays, so that's kind of just like heads up.
And you'll get your interview questions 2 days prior to your interview, just so that you can prepare, have an idea of like what you're going to say. We're not going to know what you're going to say, so like there's still spontaneity, but just for you to prepare for the interview.
Right.
So like she said, the Sundays will be when we're filming, and we will be posting every Wednesday. Just because you filmed on Sunday does not mean that your video will be posted that Wednesday. Just because we do have an order of things. Also, not every interviewee that will be posted onto our YouTube channel. You'll definitely be posted on our social media, whether that's Instagram or whether that's TikTok. But because there's very similar topics and maybe the conversations were pretty similar, we may choose not to post a video up twice. But you'll definitely be posted somewhere on our channel, somewhere on our social media, and you'll get the video, the entire interview for yourself. We'll email it to you just in case you want to see it and stuff.
Yeah. And just a heads up, because everything is going to be public, the TikTok, the Instagram, even our actual podcast episodes, just be aware that whatever you're talking about with us, you feel comfortable that anybody can see it. We know family, friends.
My mom's gonna be watching it.
Yeah,
so
my parents.
You don't
shout
want
out
your mom to hear whatever you're saying. Just keep that in mind. But obviously, speak of whatever you want to talk about. We want everyone to be comfortable on here, but just have it in the back of your mind.
Yeah, just keep that. I guess the next thing is
introducing ourselves. Who are we? Why are you listening to us?
Yeah, enough about the podcast spiel. Who are we? Who is even doing this podcast? So I will start us out. My name is Mandy, as I said before, and it's actually just Mandy. Does not come from the name Amanda, so it's a little different there. And I am 19 years old. I'm gonna be 20 next month, so shout out to my Scorpios. And basically, what I want to do in the future, my career, I am majoring in film. So my biggest goal is to be a director in film, specifically for psychological dramas and then kind of coming of age, indie type of films. So right now I'm kind of just building my portfolio. I just came out with another short film that I directed,
in my first car.
In my first car.
Found Mandy White's films with a Z.
I'll
on
put
YouTube.
yeah, put everything in the description or
I'm in it, by the way.
just
Very small little role.
yeah, I always force Val to kind of just be in my films when I needed an extra character, and she always does an amazing job.
So me, my name is Valeria, but I don't really call myself Valeria. Normally, nobody really says their name, but everyone calls me Val. That's it, short, sweet Val.
It's actually weird for me to call her Valeria. It
I
feels
don't
kind of
think
weird.
people just because for a really long time it was like people didn't know how to pronounce my name, so it'd be like they'd say Valeria, and I hate that so
Yeah.
much. Valeria diarrhea, like that's what it was like in elementary.
Valeria
Like
diarrhea.
everyone made fun of me because of that, so it's like I hated it. So I made everyone call me Valerie, but that's not my name, and like even my mom calls me Valerie because like I traumatized her into calling me Valerie because I just hated my name, and it really is Valeria, but nobody says it like that either.
I've actually wondered that for the longest time. Why does your mom call you?
She's traumatized.
Interesting.
She's so traumatized.
I had no idea.
She doesn't. Whatever. But Val. Anyways, I'm 19 years old. Cancer.
Shout out to our Cancers.
Yeah,
we don't really know zodiac stuff, just
Sorry.
our own.
I just was copying her. Major. I am health science major, preclinical track. I am pre-med route, so I've just started going into. We'll go more into that some other time because I know some pre-med students want to come on here and maybe give me some insight because that's what I do.
Pre-med.
But the reason behind my major is honestly I don't know. I applied to UCF as a marketing major, so I have no feel for this industry really, like by my family or anything. My mom's a personal trainer, so my dad is in like business, so it's like the medical field's never been really an option for me, but I do like school and I like being academically challenged and I do enjoy helping people. And currently I am working as a medical assistant, so I'm getting exposed to that field and I'm really enjoying it. So we'll see where that takes me later on, but that is the reason why I am health science track right now. Let's spice it up a little bit and do 2 fun facts.
Yeah.
So
do you want to start or?
I'll start.
Okay.
One fun fact about me is that I was captain of the swim team in high school for maybe like 2 months. I swam since like middle school or like elementary school. I was swimming, but I was captain my senior year because like my coach and everything, he was just not the best, and so I chose to resign. But yeah, that's a little thing.
So a fun fact, is that my chin, you guys can't see it, but if you look up close to my chin, I have a scar. And funny enough, this happened literally last year. Val and I's first year of college, we went out to this outdoor event and there was music and like everybody was hyped up. And then I guess a giant, like full beer can, completely unopened,
From the front of the crowd, we're all the way in the back,
gets thrown and Val gets hit. Like she immediately just falls to the ground and I'm like, oh my gosh.
and we were in like a little group of people. I was like giving somebody my snap, like I was talking to this
Yeah,
crowd.
like
we were all like socializing,
mingling.
and I was looking down. If I was looking up, it would have hit me right in the eye. But since I was looking down, it hit me, and I immediately felt like I just was like, an immediate reaction. So dramatic of me, but
she just fell to the ground and like, you know, from my perspective, I'm like, oh my God, Val. And so I'm like, are you okay? And she looks up as she's getting up. She sees that I'm like bleeding, like gushing blood. She's like, oh my God, you're bleeding. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm worried about you. Why are you worried about me? And I look at I turn on my phone, look at myself, and there's just blood coming out of my chin. And so I didn't realize this until a couple minutes later when I like thought the whole thing out. But I guess because Val and I are 2 different heights, the beer can, like the rim sliced my chin and then it knocked her out.
So yeah, one beer can literally did like a little double team on us and just
literally knocked two birds with one stone, really.
Yeah. So
now I have a permanent scar. Val is completely fine.
I'm completely fine.
But I have a permanent scar.
I did have a dent in my head for the time being. So that was it. But yeah.
So that's a little fun fact for you.
Okay, another fun fact. Fun fact number 2 is that this past summer, I was studying abroad in Barcelona, and I went by myself on the weekend because we were obviously in class Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday. But on the weekend, I went to Scotland and London all by my lonesome. And I took my little backpack, a little backpacking for the weekend, and I stayed in hostels because I was on budget mode. I got that flight to Edinburgh. Hopefully I said that right. Edinburgh for $13 because I love my coupons. $13 to Scotland, and I stayed in hostels for like $20 a night. And they were a little bit out of your comfort zone, and it was definitely a really cool experience though. Highly recommend it. I was roaming the streets of Edinburgh. I hiked a mountain with random people, and I thought that was really cool. I did cry because, everything's so beautiful, and then you just like want to share it with somebody. And like I tried to FaceTime my mom, and the connection like died out on me, and I was sitting there and I was crying because I was like I'm alone,
Yeah.
and there was no service. But it was really cool, and I feel like everyone's has to like travel by themselves at least once in their lifetime just to like really find your inner you.
All right. So my second fact is little flex over here, but my senior year of high school, I won homecoming queen.
Okay.
And Val actually, we weren't even friends. Like we knew of each other, but weren't like I would say acquaintance wise. Like we weren't even consider each other as friends. Not that there was any bad blood. It's just we were in two different groups. And so she texted me saying like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that like I voted for you, like good luck and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, thanks. I was like, who is this chick texting me? But yeah, I ended up winning, and it was.
She's acting as if she didn't even. All right, she knew who I was.
No, I knew it.
She knew who I was.
But it was very nice of her to reach out because I did not think she would, and just to point out that she voted. But yeah, what a surreal night for me. It was a great time.
Yes. It's kind of funny because it's like we're out here making a little podcast together. We've been rooming together for 2 years. It's 1 year.
This is our second year.
This is our second. I don't know. Yeah, this is our second year knowing each other. Also, because 2 years ago we were in the same high school and we just had no idea. Like the way our high school was, like, on the groups were like it wasn't necessarily super clicky. Would you say it was clicky?
Our school? Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, not that the school itself was clicky, but I think like
Just the groups.
there was. I think this is in every school. My private Christian middle school was the same way. There's groups that are kind of categorized into something. I don't know. There was like
Mandy was in the cute little theater kid group.
No.
But
Okay, to be fair, I think I was. Let me defend myself and my friends real quick. I don't think my friends and I categorized as like theater was our only thing. Like I think yes, we were known because we did theater, but in all honesty, like
well, to be fair, I didn't know you did theater until senior year.
right. That's what I'm saying is I don't.
I actually went to your play. You know this.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
You're mad. What is that?
I was the Mad Hatter in our Alice in Wonderland
Alice in
play.
Wonderland. I went. I was like, it was my senior year. I was like, I've never been to a film before.
Play, not a film. No,
Sorry,
it's okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
I've never been to a play before, so I took my mom and we went. And we watched you.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying is like I don't think people unless you saw me in theater, you were like, oh, she's a theater kid, but like outside, it's like, oh, you did theater? I don't know. Hopefully I come off like that because I don't want to come off
Guys,
like
I don't stereotype. Like I wasn't like that wasn't me. Like I feel like I was I floated around like
that's a good word, a floater. I think you and I were like separate floaters.
Now let's go back to how we met, and that was our mutual friend Ava. Shout out to Ava.
Shout out to Ava.
She was our mutual. I've been friends with Ava since I was back in elementary school. We were neighbors, and she was my best friend, still is my best friend. And she herself became friends with Mandy, and I still talk to Ava in high school, but it was just like she had her own friends, and that was that. And when it came to coming to college, we always said we wanted a room together, and we were like, okay, like we're gonna room together, we need to find a third roommate. And she was like, why not Mandy? And I'm like, I have no idea who that is, but like
well, it was perfect timing because like my situation with living in Orlando didn't end up working out well, so I needed a place, and I was talking to Ava, and they needed a roommate, so it was kind of just like,
Yeah, and I
why
was
not?
like, I trust Ava's judgment. If there's one person you can trust, that's Ava. So I
Yeah,
was like,
anything that Ava says, just know it's the right decision or the
I know
right.
she's like giggling over it.
She's probably kicking her feet.
But yes, so then I was like, okay, let's do it. And so I met Mandy, like sat down and had actual conversations with her 2 weeks before move-in date. Moral of the story, we met through Ava, we became roommates, and
Instantly clicked, instantly connected.
it was great. And then our first year of college was phenomenal. And unfortunately, Ava had to move back home, but we carried on her spirit, and we're here. And
Yes, Ava's right here with us.
we're here and somewhere new, and it's been great because now we have this little area for ourselves to do our little podcast.
Yeah, it's been an adventure because Val and I, like we said, practically met last year, connected, and now we moved into a new apartment with new people and are starting a podcast. So it's been like an interesting journey, but I think
It's been great.
it's been
And
super cool.
the on how we started this podcast was actually because I've been thinking about this for doing this for
for so
almost
long now.
over a year now, and I've just been brainstorming it, but I'm pretty shy when it comes to filming and like being on I don't know, this is a little scary to me. And I'm not tech savvy. I'm not good with all this stuff. So it was like it took a while to get that push, but I had the ideas. And then my boyfriend, he actually started his own podcast. Shout out to him.
Shout out boyfriend.
And I was like, you know what? He literally thought about it and he just did it. He acted on it. So like, let me just act on it. Like, let me just start. And so I was like thinking about it, and I was like, okay, but how am I gonna do this? Like, I have the ideas, but like, I need a little push even more when it comes to navigating all this stuff. And
Navigating life together.
and so I went downstairs because we have a little spiral staircase. I went downstairs and I was talking to Mandy about it, and I was like, wait, why don't we just like do this together? You know, like why don't like
Yeah, she like proposed it to me. I was like,
it was
oh
like a
my
little
gosh.
moment. It was really nice.
She's like, you want to co-host a podcast with me? And I almost teared up. It was quite a nice little proposal.
So emotional. And so I sat there and I was like, let's work our minds together. I like doing like the business stuff. That's why I'll be DMing you. I'll be handling on that, and she'll be editing. So if there's any editing things that are like, what is wrong with this, or like the format, blame it on her.
Long story short, I think we worked together nicely, and now it's kind of just like a new little project for us to build our portfolio too. And
yes, because it's a great way to network with people. That is one of the main reasons why I wanted to start doing this, was because the reason why I got into the health field in general, because I was a marketing major, was because I was talking to people, and I was listening to people, and people were telling me different like reasons, like their passions behind it, and like what motivated them to do it. And I'm like, you know what, that's really cool. And like everything I'm learning right now, the job that I got, everything that I've been doing, it's from talking to people and learning from other people. Like, and I feel like this will give us an even better opportunity. Someone who's in film, like she's gonna be constantly making connections with people who are actors or people or want to be wanting to be actors. You know?
Yeah, already we've gotten some DMs, and I think we have like 2 people that want to talk about the film industry or like acting or kind of just like into that. And so I think it's just really cool. This in general is a great way for Val and I to network for both our careers, because she's meeting pre-med people and they can teach her a lot of things, and then I'm kind of like working on technical things and like building my film portfolio and meeting people. So this was such a great, I think, outlet for both of us to kind of like express our creativity and our portfolio, but also meeting, like Val said, meeting those super interesting, cool people. I mean, I know nothing about pre-med. I know nothing about the medical field. Respectfully, that is the one field I could never dive myself into, just because I think it's a lot for me. It's a lot of like, I don't know, it's a lot. And so, but I'm very interested to talk to people who are passionate about it and would like to talk about it. And I'm sure it's the same way with you, with film people. It's like,
no, I was like talking to people, like I've been meeting people constantly every day, and it's like they're telling me about like things that I've just never thought about. And then sometimes I feel dumb like sitting in that conversation, and I'm just like, oh, like I wish I had more knowledge about it. But I mean, like in all honesty, like we all don't know everything. And so it's like, let's talk to people who like do know, and then like learn from them. And so we're having people come on here talk about, actually, I'm not gonna let you guys know. I was gonna say it, but we'll find out.
no sneak peeks yet.
no sneak peeks, but we are excited. But with that in mind, like this is a fun project for us, and we have our own careers, we have our own school, we are college students, so like we are trying our best to have this as organized and scheduled as possible, but we're not perfect. And so if we, by any means, like it just
If
looks
there
a little
is editing mess ups, please don't.
yes, if I don't DM you back in a certain amount of time, like I'm so sorry. Like it's stressful. My calendar, you should see my Google Calendar. It is stressful.
Oh my gosh,
But
our ever since we I think we really like got locked in about last month. It was every single day just working on something new for the podcast, whether that was like an idea or like investing on furniture and equipment, this and that. We were working on it like behind the scenes in case people didn't know. We were working on it like
and like
past her bedtime,
our
her
schedules are so different. Like I go to bed early and I wake up early. She like not wakes up so late, but wakes up later than I do, and then like goes to bed late. So it's like we'd have to accommodate our schedules to like fit in
to
when we're gonna
talk,
do
yeah,
stuff.
because there's certain days that Val and I don't see each other all day because
like
of
yesterday, I went to bed at like 9:30, and she came home at like
I
11.
came home from work, yeah, at 11. So our schedules are really whack. So to be able to like sit down and establish everything was a process, but we did it, and I think it's just been everything has been lining up really nicely, and we just got really excited. So
And
but
I've
we
been
are
loving talking to everybody. Like I was really shocked, like the amount of responses we got for our Google forms.
yeah.
And like you guys are just making me so excited. Like I just want to talk about everything with you guys, and like we're just like everyone's like throwing into different ideas, different topics, and I was just like, whoa, like this is.
And keep in mind, like I mean, a lot of our friends have been saying this, and like family members are like, "Oh, you guys are gonna be so famous with your podcast. We're gonna listen to it every day." Da, da. Just know this is not at all to get fame or this is that.
This
like
is just for fun.
this is for fun. If this gets like 10 views, then that's okay. Like we don't really care. It's mainly more to just like meet new people and have really cool conversations, and we're just recording it because you ever have like really in-depth conversations.
Oh, this girl, like in the like any gathering we're at, any gathering, any like social event, any like little like game night or whatever thing we host, like it has to end off with some like what is it, psychological conversation,
philosophical.
philosophical,
Psychological is a little different.
Sorry.
But yeah, philosophical because I always felt like the best way to get to know people or the best way to end a night or a day or any conversation is to have like an intellectual or in-depth like deep thing because then that creates like a different level because I don't really like having conversations with people that are very surface level and I mean unless like I know I'm probably not going to meet you again but like if I get a good connection good energy from you I think why not get in depth about certain things.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to trauma dump or get in depth about like
well, if you want to go ahead, but
I mean, yeah, if you want to, but like, I'm not dissecting people trying to get to their deepest core. It's kind of just happens naturally.
yeah, like we had a friendsgiving last year, and it was like with totally different people of
random
different
people.
mindsets, and it was so cool because we're I think very open-minded people, and like especially like when it comes to religion, when it comes to cultures and opinions and everything, and so we had all those different types of minded people at one event, and just hearing everyone conversate and hearing everyone like share their opinions and like kind of go back and forth and have those discussions, it was really cool. And
Yeah,
so it was like
it was
that
super
even itself like motivated us to like talk with people, and I don't know, it's just like, really interesting to see like different mindsets,
Yeah.
you know.
We usually already have like these random deep like conversations with people that we usually meet like at an event that day or like we see them a couple times and then we spark a conversation. We're kind of used to doing all this, but now it's just recorded. Like that's
Yeah.
literally the only difference. So I think that's like what's super exciting too is that now people get to kind of join in on our
Yes.
our conversations
And like
that
maybe
we
and like
usually
even
have.
choose something that they specifically like or like interested in, like that's cool too, because sometimes like you want to talk to someone about something you really want. Like we were seeing some topics like of things that like I never thought of, but you can tell these people are like passionate about it, but they just haven't like really got a chance to like discuss that with anybody, so it's like really cool.
I think like everybody genuinely deep down inside of them has something that they would love to talk in depth about, and it's not even about like career or future, just maybe something that they really like to talk about. And so I think this is just a great way for people to do that.
Yeah. And so back to what she was saying before, our target audience really is you guys. It's UCF. We're gonna be putting some flyers around UCF, and we're gonna be promoting our forums. I did take down our forums off our Instagram quickly. I'm gonna put up again, but it was just because I was getting a little overwhelmed. Like I haven't got back to some people.
We have a lot
So we're gonna hold off on the flyers just yet. But our target audience is you guys. We want to talk to
Orlando people, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to come up here to Orlando or down or whatever, go right ahead. But that is our audience right now. We're just trying to talk to everybody, and it's fun.
Yeah. So
I think that is.
I think we've
surpassed our little list of what we wanted to talk about.
Just keep in mind we're always gonna have a little list nearby, just because it's very hard to
like
knock
plan,
down,
because it's gonna still be spontaneous. But like I said, like we're gonna send out interview questions just so we can have some sort of baseline of what we want to talk about. Be a little professional, you know. Also, we want to hear stories too. Topics don't have to be constrained to one thing. Like, come here and tell us some funny stories, some storytelling. We'd like that.
This is not meant to be
It's not like just advice or like deep or like whatever. It can be everything. It can be deep. It can be advice. But I also like storytelling.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not meant to be kind of client and two therapists type of situation.
It's a conversation.
It's conversation, story. I mean, Val and I were talking about stories from the past that like kind of just went to this conversation. It's not like we're planning ahead. Well, we did plan ahead.
We did.
One. Okay. But like in general, like stories just come with the flow. So feel free to talk about literally anything.
Yes, and we are planning for the videos to be about max an hour long because we don't want to sit here and bore you guys. So
we're gonna aim for 30 to 45 minutes. But if it gets into if it's very, very interesting and we felt like everything within the hour needs to be posted in an episode, then it'll be posted.
All right. Yeah. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Our episode next will be out on Wednesday, so stay tuned on that.
Yes, and thank you guys for listening to We're All Strangers podcast.
Navigating life together.
And we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Wait, let me end on this one. Okay, bye. Bye.